It's Speaking with Gravity. On this podcast, we talk about mental health and how everything affects everything. With every episode, the goal is to have a conversation that will make you think, make you feel, make you do what is best for you. This isn't therapy, it's a podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Speaking with Gravity. I am one of your hosts, Curvin.
Hey everybody, I'm Hannah.
Hi everyone, I'm Latasha.
And today we're exploring a topic about staying positive in today's world, which, depending on how much information that you're bringing in, I don't watch the news. So that's one of the things that they can tell y'all that at the beginning of the episode. At the episode, that's one of the things I don't do. But I also find myself missing out on some information because I don't do that. But in today's world, with everything that's coming at us on social media, on traditional media, and the news and so on and so forth, it can be somewhat hard to stay positive, even with just our regular trials and tribulations that we're having day in and day out. So we're going to talk about strategies for staying positive with a beautiful, beautiful young lady that I've heard a lot about, so I'm interested to kind of get into this conversation with. But before we do that, we're going to do our QD of the hour, which is quotable data. That's why we call it QD, in case you didn't put that together. And it's another version of fun facts, information for you to be able to give to your friends, family, colleagues, co-workers, church members, to let them know that you know a little something about mental health.
Just a little something.
All right, so Hannah, you're going to give us that QD of the hour.
Okay, so the QD of the hour says, in 2021, new research found that even one positive person in a group can make everyone else feel better. High levels of positivity by any one individual in a group can help lower the temperature of everyone else, making it more likely that conflicts will be resolved. And our source is the Journal for Diverse Perspectives.
Yep. So, that being said, we should all aim to be that one positive person within a group. So, what do you go by? Latasha, Tasha, Miss Morgan?
Latasha is fine.
Okay. Latasha, can you give us a little bit about your background and your journey to where you are? Again, I was looking at, I told you this earlier, I was looking at your, I don't want to say, pamphlet is the thing that's coming to my mind, but it's not a pamphlet. It's a card that says who you are, what you do. And you had a list of things there that I cannot memorize. So can you tell us your background, how you got here, how you got into doing what you do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Sometimes I can't remember them either. I find myself trying to think about where they are. But I'm Latasha Morgan. I own Majestic Talks LLC, which is a biblically based coaching business. I grew up in McCormick, moved to Greenwood. I've always been in God, in the Word, my life, and everything is structured according to God, period. Mm-hmm. I love that. And one of the things that got me to where I am as being a coach is my relationship with my dad and God. Mm. He taught me the importance of the relationship and also took time to have a relationship with me. So with my business and being a coach, well, let me go back and say how I got to be a coach star. Mm-hmm. But that's part of the process of getting there. But I first started going to school for computer technology and business.
Okay.
I did that. I loved it, but when I graduated from Piedmont Tech, I was like, okay, this is done. I don't know what I'm going to do because I really don't want to do a job like this. Mm-hmm. So I told me to go to school for ministry. So I went back to get my Bachelor of Science in Religion from Liberty University. And I loved it so much with the pastoral counseling and stuff in there, and learning purpose and knowing who you are and stuff and all of that being necessary, that I had to go back again to the seminary. And doing the pastoral counseling classes there made me want to do a Master of Arts in Pastoral Counseling. And I did that and finished that and went into coaching.
And you did both of those with Liberty
University, the bachelor's and the both masters, Master of Divinity and a Master of Arts.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I went into coaching, got my life coaching certification along with the professional and the Christian one. And so since during the pandemic, American Association of Christian Counselors were doing this program for the mental health coach certification. $54 you can't beat, right? Training the people in the church how to know how to help people, because of course we see a lack of that. And so I got into doing that. I'm like, yeah, wow, $54, I'd be certified, because I love education anyway.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, I love education. So I did that, and I was like, okay, how am I going to use this to affect the church? And that's what I really based my business on, people in the church. And Majestic Thoughts came from those the relationship I have with God and my dad, and how I felt after both, being in the presence of both of them, having that life-changing experience. And that's what I strive to do at Majestic Talks.
Okay.
So would you say Majestic Talks is, you said earlier something about sense of purpose. Is that the foundation for Majestic Talks?
Yeah, knowing your purpose. That's important to me, because that's how I found out what I was supposed to be doing. You know, I recall being at home, and I was like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Of course, my dad already prophesied. He prophesied over all his daughters. And I heard that, of course. My dad was in ministry, so I know that was somewhere. And I didn't want to do that, because, of course, you like, people going to be calling me about this, calling me about that. That's one of the things I didn't want to do, coaching either, counseling either, because that's what I thought. I'm like, I don't want to be listening to people problems and they be whining. Okay, no offense, but sometimes people be whining in the church for no reason. So
They don't do that.
yes, they do. They do it all the time. And so I didn't want to do that. So, but that was a part of my purpose. And going and looking at my name, what that means, and going back to scripture and seeing everybody in scripture, their name meant whatever purpose they fulfill. It was already in their name. And so I looked at that, and then looked at people in scripture that were most like me, fitting in with my purpose. What's the meaning of my name, the gifts I have, and my personality, knowing why I act the way I do, and knowing how to tame who I am, or the different things in myself, so that I could be more effective and powerful in the world. And that's what I do to help people. I love seeing the expression on people's faces when they find out who they are. Or just hearing the joy in their voice, knowing, oh, I'm here for a reason. Okay, well, I could have already known this, and then I could have been doing more. But you get things at the time you get them. And that's another thing, teaching people to do that as well. You know what you know when you know it.
Have you had any experiences in recent years, any years really, of just being overwhelmed by either not having a purpose, overwhelmed by what's going on in society? You know, when I say that, I'm thinking, in my mind, as I'm talking, I'm thinking about Trayvon Martin. I'm thinking about George Floyd, the guy, I forgot his name, I Can't Breathe. And when you see those images over and over again, of course, there's more to it than just that's going on in the world. But have you ever found a time in your life where just things were just overwhelming for you?
Yeah, not relating to those things, but related, and this is recent, because my mom got sick in January, died in February. Then I was in a wreck in July, And then some of my sisters were in a wreck too. Then one of my sisters had to have surgery on something. So all of that was overwhelming because then I took over my sister being sick, so I had to be there with her. So then all the responsibilities my mom had, I took over those responsibilities too, some of those responsibilities. So yeah, it was overwhelming because I found myself saying, even though Tasha knew the word, even though Tasha knows God, even though all of that, and Tasha is supposed to be something different to everybody else. So, but in myself, I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. There's no... I mean, God, why would you do this? This is stupid. Why would you do that? And excuse me, because this is the way I talk to God, because of relationship. He knows me. He ain't gonna strike me now. But I wouldn't. If I was in charge, God, I wouldn't have did this. This wouldn't have happened if I was on the. Okay, that's it. I guess I'm saying if I was on the
God
throne,
committee.
if I was God,
if you was on God's
happen.
committee, you wouldn't be.
Yeah,
you wouldn't
this
suggest
one-
this.
No, why would you let this happen? Could you just give her? I know she's 70, and let's thank God. We'll go back there, but come on.
So
This my last parent. So what am I gonna do without her? You know, how I'm gonna get through this situation.
How are you going to say that positive person that you're so used to being?
Yeah, because see, she was the one that helped us get through my dad being gone. And that was 20 years ago. So let's just say she lived 20 years past his death. So that was overwhelming to me because I had no idea what I was going to do.
Did you, we talking about staying positive, right? So not same experience, but the same thing happened with two different parents 20 years apart. Did you handle them differently 20 years later? Did you put something in place because I didn't do this as well the first time around, I'm going to do something different this time around? Did that happen to you?
It was easier the first time.
Really?
It was easier because, again, my mom was still here.
Okay.
It was easier. Not that I didn't feel anything or none of that, because that was my best friend. At that time, I was asking, oh, my God, who am I talk to now? Who am I come in? Because he always wanted to know what was going on. And I always wanted, if I learned something, he wanted to know what it was and take him step by step with it. But I'm thinking... One day I got home I was in Piedmont Tech then. I got home and I had this great grade, and I was going in and tell him, I was like, oh, he's dead. I forgot about that. Because it wasn't that, long. Didn't happen that long after his death. So I'm like, so who am I going to tell all this to now? But what happened, it gave me a greater relationship with. That's why you need to have support. You have to get a greater relationship with someone else. My mom, like I said, it made it easier, and it wasn't as bad. But when she was gone, I cried a lot.
That support system.
Yeah, I cried a lot because I ain't have my buddy anymore. Every morning we ride to work every day, and I'm like, and I would aggravate her so much just because it was fun.
Oh, Lord.
It was fun. The look on her face would be so funny, and she would just, shut up, Tasha, shut up. You talking too much, shut up. And she would do that, but it was so fun. I couldn't wait
genuine.
to get, yeah. And I love that. So yeah, it was different. I don't know if I wasn't prepared for it, because you just think, I didn't see her as being 70. And I didn't see her as at some point in time, because you don't really think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we think people live forever.
We know it's going to happen, but we push it back so far back in our heads. It's like when it happens, it can be overwhelming.
And that was overwhelming. And I felt so angry.
Yeah.
I actually went through the stage of anger. I was mad.
Are you the oldest?
No, I just act like it. But
So you said you took on your mom's, basically kind of like the mother role, I'm assuming, is that what you were saying?
No, when I took over her home.
Okay.
The things that she would normally do.
Okay.
being I'm not gonna say caretaker, because I'm one of those just ain't nobody gonna be doing all that. You're in this situation, cool. We gonna get through this, and we gonna get you better so that you can function the way you're supposed to function, and I can function the way I'm supposed to function. But being a kind of sort of caretaker, because it's not like she can't do, you know what I'm saying, for my sister, and then be left with being the only person that's going to play with my little nephew too, because we both did that job. So just certain things I wouldn't normally do, or not do all
the time.
Yeah.
So how do you stay up with all of the things that happened to you this past year? What strategies do you implement into your life, or would you suggest people implement into their lives to kind of, because we're going to go through things repeatedly from year to year, month to month, day to day. What do we do, or some of the things that we can do to keep hope alive, as what's my man name, Reverend Jesse Jackson used to say?
Well, that's the thing, we do need to keep hope alive, and because we get into despair meaning I have lost hope, or there's an absence of it. The Bible, hope you don't mind. Okay, you don't mind. Okay, the Bible says hope deferred.
I hope you don't mind. You don't mind. Just keep on.
Because I looked at your face. So, and I figured that didn't make sense for me to ask the question, so that's why I put it on. Okay, so, hope deferred makes the heart sick. That means I put hope on the shelf somewhere, just like I defer a loan. I put it on the shelf because I didn't feel like I had the capacity to contain it, to use it, because what I thought or desired or expected to happen didn't happen. I expected my mom to be here a long time, but that didn't happen. So that means if we are in despair and we are hopeless, then we are not seeing. I had to see the bigger picture. I couldn't control, and I wanted to control her being here, but I couldn't do that, because I had to realize and take an assessment of what I was really thinking. Was I hoping she stayed here because it was a good thing for me? Because she found out she had stage 4 cancer, even though she was going to the doctor. So, was it because I wanted her, and was I being selfish? I had to take an assessment of that. So what I always say, take an assessment of why you feel the way you feel. Where did it come from? Because our mind keeps records. So is the despair coming from sometime before? Somebody did something to you before, and now you are thinking about it now? And but think in reverse. I think you should think in reverse. We think, I don't know what the statistics say, and I can't remember what it said. It says something about we think a lot of negative thoughts every day. But think about what would happen if we think a lot of positive thoughts. So what I had to do, take an assessment. Why was I in the situation I was in? And really, is there anything I can do about it? No.
All right.
So I have to accept the things I can't change, right?
Right.
Change the things I can, and make sure I know the difference between the two. So take that assessment. Then, okay, where's my support system? And that's the good thing, because I had a bunch of some that I didn't even know.
Had to tap into.
Right, yeah. You got to use what you have around you.
Yeah.
Tap into that. Because we look for other things somewhere else when it's sitting right there.
In front of us.
Right. Thank you.
Y'all over there finishing each other's sentences and stuff like that. Like y'all been friends for years.
Yeah, that's why I said thank you. Yeah. So know the difference between what you can change and what you can't. Go with that. You can't do anything about it, so go on. See what you can do. Tap into that support system, because I found that talking to my uncles worked very well.
Really?
Wow.
And talking to my sisters. They was in the same situation that I was in, but I'm supposed to be the Tasha that's up here. Instead of, no, sometimes I'm down here. Knowing that I can be in that place sometimes and being okay with that. That's another thing you can do. Find the positive in every situation because it's there somewhere. You just have to look at it. That's why there's an underline, because the silver lining, because you have to look for it. Everything isn't what it seems. It isn't what it looked like. So pay attention to that. Look past the smoke screen and see what's positive there and go from there. And you have to take it day by day. Yeah. Maybe you need to find something that you can do that's on a more positive level instead of being in the dumps that you are normally in. Find something you can do. Whether it's education, like me, I love that. Go do that. Go exercising is good for you. Going for a walk, getting fresh air, minding the things you eat, because a lot of coffee can take you up and down all the time. So do those things.
I just want to add, sometimes I feel like it may be difficult for individuals, and I'll speak from my experience, it may be difficult for us to get out of that negative comfort zone that we're in because it requires change, you know, and in my personal experience, a lot of people look at me and say, oh, you're such a positive person. I evolve every day. You know, this day may not have been the best day, but what can I do to make tomorrow the best day? And speaking of that, it's one technique you talked about, like just appreciating life itself. It's one technique that I thought of, which is grounding. Sometimes we get so focused in these negative day-to-day events that we don't even appreciate the sun. We don't even appreciate fresh air, clean water, just the basic necessities that have been given to us from God. We overpass that and we minimalize how important those things are. But instead of just focusing on those negative events, not saying that they're not traumatic, not saying that they're not impactful to us, they are. But how can we look at the brighter side of things?
Yeah, because sometimes we face things because we need to grow.
Yep.
So that's another positive. Well, maybe I need to grow in a certain area. That's why this happened to me. Maybe this is a process, meaning small steps for me to get to another area.
The bigger picture.
Life. Yeah, you got to look at the bigger picture. We can't see it. God can, but we can't. And that's the whole problem, because we can't see what he sees.
Right.
We don't know what he knows. So I've found that being in certain situations helped me later on in life. And then, too, what you're facing, somebody else is going to need.
Yep.
Do you really think that what you're going through isn't for somebody else? No. It's like, I think on the first show I did, and then teaching pastoral counseling at church. One of the first things I did was a photo of a man standing on top of the mountain of Masada. It's over 1,000 feet up in the air. And then when you go there, you thank God for the South, because I did. Because it's so hot. On top of that, like I was going to fall out. And I thought about that $3,000 I paid. And that helped me out a lot.
I'm alive.
Yeah, honey, I'm not going to miss this opportunity. I pay good money. But I put that picture up because I want you to see. You can see in 360 every direction on that mountain. And you hot, but whenever you're in Israel, you got to have a backpack, right? You have to have, and it has water, all the necessities that you're going to need, just in case you need them. You got to have something over your head. You have to have water. Of course, you want a phone, just in case. So I use that to illustrate that whatever you need, you have already been given.
That's a
and
word.
You have all the tools you need to sustain you in every situation. But while you on top of that mountain enjoying all the view, somebody else is down there and they need something. They may be taking the I don't know why they would do it, the hour or so walk on the snake path to get to the mountain of Masada. I wouldn't do it, but hey,
and you said snake path?
Yeah, it's just in the shape of
okay,
not
Not no snakes.
on it.
Okay.
But we are in those people are in those areas of life where they're on a path and there are snakes there. There are things that will harm them. But what I'm saying is, you're on the top of that mountain. You have your backpack on, and someone is down there calling your name. What you gonna do? They may be hurt, and what you have with you may be the thing that they need to get up. You may have the help they need, but are you gonna just think about, hey, I'm already up here, man, I ain't going down there? That's crazy. You have different choices to make. You can take the cable, you can take the snake path down there, you can jump off. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. You might not, be in help, but you can do it if you want. But what are you gonna do with what you've been given? So whatever you experience, you put what you've learned in that backpack of yours, the tools that you have obtained through the situations that you've experienced.
And it's all a learning process.
Because that same person needs to learn the same thing, and you already have the 411 on it, right? You have the information.
I would not suggest that you jump down.
No, that's what I said. I wouldn't suggest that you do that, but I'm saying those are options you have.
Yeah.
You can take the snake path. That's a whole
And we all got options, right? For every problem, there is a solution. I like to say the problem is we don't always like the solution.
Right, you don't.
So we just have to. I love how you say you got to figure out the silver lining. You got to figure out what am I supposed to be learning here? What is it that I'm going through that can be shared with somebody else so that they can learn from it or be able to overcome whatever situation they're going through. Another thing that you said that I really, really like, I don't even think you realize you said it. When I say you didn't realize it, you talked about your relationship with your dad, who's a black man, and your uncles, who are black men. Well, at least I'm assuming all of them are black men. But the way that you talked about it was in such a good way. Like I go to them, I had these conversations with them, and that's inspiring for me. I don't even know them. I have no idea who they are, but for you to have such a connection with them is so good. So that's the silver lining that I got from some of the stuff that you were saying. I don't know why I got the coughing spells today.
It's okay.
Can I just add something to that? Yeah. It seems like, we go through our different obstacles in lives, and death is something that's inevitable, so we're all going to experience it. But it's so impactful how we can lose someone so close to us, but God will send somebody else to provide those same needs or provide that same help or assistance that person once provided for you. So I heard you say, you lost your mom, but you got closer to your sisters. You lost your dad, but you built those relationships with your uncle. So like you were saying before, we have everything equipped. We have the resources. We have the support system in our backpack. We just have to tap into it and recognize, hey, I'm feeling a little down right now. I might not be that positive person that people see me as, but what can I do to get back to that high mountain?
Yeah, we're gonna always have those points where it's we're gonna have down moments. No matter what healer you are, coach you are, mental health professional, no matter what, we're all gonna have those down moments at different points in times. And I again, y'all said it more than once. The support system is so vital.
Yeah.
And if you don't think you got one, you need to help. You need to create one, or a knowledge, or find people that's going to be beneficial to you.
Yeah. I found that I couldn't, because Tasha like to do things herself, and she feel like she can do anything, right? But I found that I couldn't do this by myself. And that's the thing. We can't go through life by ourselves. You need somebody around you. And I didn't get that relationship with my uncles until my mom passed. They stepped right on in. They was with us through picking out everything at the funeral home, everything we needed. And even now, they make sure they call. One of them called every day. And I had to say, hey, you ain't got to call every day if you don't want. Don't make
force it.
Yeah, don't make it. Don't feel like you have to do it. but I know you love me anyway. But one of them call every day, if not every day, every other day or something like that. But they have stepped in, and it helped us get through it better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, man, you said a lot today. Is there any parting things that you want to give to anybody that's listening, in general, just about being positive, staying positive strategies? We talked about, you gave a lot earlier, but is there anything that you want to share with people that they need to know, they need to implement today, right here, right now, to kind of keep that hope alive, as I like to say?
Like I said, today, make an assessment. That's important, because I gotta know what the cause is before I can do anything about it. You gotta know what it is. So make an assessment. See what caused you to get here, why you're here, and then find somebody you can talk to. Because those two things are the most important, because you gotta have somebody that you can talk to. Because talking about whatever the situation is you're going through, even if it's just somebody random, you don't even have to know them. But as long as you can go look online, they have Glue has this thing for people who just, you don't have to say what your name is, but they have this line where different churches, in different areas are giving, certain people are sending them, and they get their online message, and you talk to those people via text.
Okay.
Who is this?
It's Glue. It's called Glue, but they have like different things like Church Connect. You can probably see it on Facebook. I think it's on Facebook in different places. Okay. But yeah, they do because I do it. They connect coaches, churches to different people, so that you can be a help to them. So go look for somebody that can help you, even if you don't want to sit down in a counseling session or a coaching session. Go find somebody that you know that's good and you can trust, and because they're bound, they can't tell anybody your information anyway. So go talk to someone. Find somebody around you. Use what you have around you. Take advantage of those things. Not that kind of advantage, but use what you have.
So how can people who want to get in contact with you, how can they find you?
I'm everywhere on social media except for Threads, because I haven't done that yet. I don't know if I want to, but everywhere on social media.
Are you on Twitter already? It's basically similar, very similar format.
Okay.
Very similar format.
Okay, I might try it though. Yeah. But
now once you do it, you can't delete it, because if you delete your Threads, it automatically deletes your Instagram. That's just FYI.
That's the aspect I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's
so
just
never
FYI.
Mind. Then I stay out Threads, so don't look for me on there. I'm not coming there. So I'm on social media.
So that's when you say social media, I have to clarify. That means Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Snapchat.
Okay. What you doing on Snapchat? But
Pinterest. I don't do anything on Snapchat really. I like it automatically uploads whatever I done. Okay. So that's in the story most of the time.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I don't do anything else on there. I'm on TikTok. Cause he said like
I'm just making sure, just have to go through that.
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok, and I do like Purpose Wednesday every Wednesday.
Okay.
On TikTok.
All of them.
All of them. Okay.
All of them. Everywhere. Okay. I record on Instagram and then put them on.
Okay.
All the
Purpose Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, right. I do something. Say something every Wednesday. So I'm also on www.majestictalks.com. You can find me there.
How do you come up with your stuff on Purpose Wednesday? How do you come up with what you're going to do?
A lot of times, I've just experienced it that week.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you process it and then give it out there to the world. Okay.
Because that's normally what happened. I experience whatever I'm talking about. I experience it that week. or the week before.
How long you been doing this?
Coaching, I've been coaching. I've had my coaching business 3 years.
Okay.
The podcast show. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can catch me on the Majestic Talk Show every fourth Thursday. I was on War Rep Radio, but right now I'm doing it on my own Facebook pages until probably till next year. But because of some changes. But
now, is your show called Majestic Talks?
The Majestic Talk Show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because Majestic Talks, you want to have a different experience every time you come and talk.
Okay.
Yeah, life-changing experience. So I'm there. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm there.
So, and you are on all of these social media platforms. You are as Majestic Talk or as Latasha.
On my private one is Latasha.
So
but,
don't nobody go on now. Try to add her on her private one.
I don't care. But I have Majestic Talks for all of my social media pages.
Okay.
I also have the Majestic Talk Show.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So thank y'all for listening to us. Check us out on Speaking with Gravity on Instagram, Facebook. We're not on Twitter. I've been saying that we're not on Twitter. But anyway, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and Threads, we're on there. So just check us out on those. Follow us there. Check Majestic Talks out every fourth Thursday of the month, and Purpose Wednesday. She's logging in every Wednesday, right? Onto IG or Instagram. Check her out there. And we have to make sure when we're talking about positive strategies, it's one of the things that I definitely try to do is try to feed my mind with positivity. Mm-hmm. I try to tailor my timeline as such. So I will purposely go and follow someone who's going to give that information to me on a weekly basis. And I know everybody's been affected by the algorithms. They're always changing the algorithms. So if I'm following you, I might not see yours, even though you do it every Wednesday. They might shadow ban it, or I just might not get your information about it. But we can be purposeful about who we follow and what we're going to bring into our mind, our entertainment diet, as I like to say. So definitely check her out on those things. Thank y'all for taking the time to listen to us. Y'all could be doing anything in the world, but you chose to listen or watch us on YouTube, and we appreciate that. So this isn't therapy, it's a podcast.